students do choose ACCA nowadays. Good. Vire? Virija. Okay. I hope I remember the name. Generally, when I remember names, the first alphabet will be for sure known. And from that alphabet, I can call you anything. So maybe I might call you Vidya, maybe I might call you Veda, or hopefully I call you Virija. Okay. And Virija, next person, can you identify someone who can introduce themselves? So shocked, she chose you. Yes, Puta. Hi, Agnivesh. Nice. Okay. Agnivesh is that student. If you go and see my Instagram page, I put a video of most of my batches. He's that student who stole chocolates from the table. I very well remember. Right, no man? Okay. Yes. Agnivesh, next person. You can go and see in my Instagram page that video is there, and he's stealing chocolate also. You can see. He already finished. Bhumika. Oh, you didn't bother to hear, no, when they were speaking. Okay. Didn't see. Okay. Hi, Sachi. Okay. 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 Great. Okay. Nice, Sachi. Anyone else left over? How many of you yet to introduce? You didn't speak, right? Okay. And then, yeah, there a few. Anyone? Okay, we'll go with the same order. Sachi, next person. Darshan. Darshan, is it? Ha, Puta. Hi, Darshan. Okay. Okay. Among all, how did you decide that this was the best? Okay. Okay. Understood. Next, Darshan. Any other person? Darshan, next person who will speak. Caro? Okay. Hello, madam. Hi, Shivani. You're pursuing your BCom, interested in accounts and finance. Okay. Okay. Nice. Your name again? Shivani. Okay. Next person, Puta. Ready boy. Hello. Shashi. Okay. 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 So my understanding from the class is that majority of you have chosen ACCA one, that because you're interested in a commerce field, you're interested in subjects of commerce, and a few of you want to have, global opportunities, international opportunities, and that's why you're choosing ACCA. Nice. Anything else? Any other particular reason? Oh, okay. Yeah, something challenging, you want to achieve in life. So of course that's the reason you take up a professional course, definitely. Great. Your name? D. Shashi. Okay, Shashi. Then Shashi, what else? You want to do something challenging, of course. You want, global opportunities, of course. You're interested in commerce subjects. Okay. Nothing else motivates you to do ACCA or any other professional course? Oh, okay. Then what you wanted to do? Okay, understood. Huh. Very nice. Very nice. Very beautiful score. Okay. I hope that score doesn't continue now also. Okay. Oh, oh, very nice. Oh, okay. She left you because you scored one. No, oh, okay. Some other reason. Okay. Okay. Nice. So guys, how many of you have professionals in the family like a chartered accountant or a company secretary or an ACCA? Okay. Uh, not that somebody who is there, far away relative. Okay. Your own sister is a CA. Nice. Okay. But what else? No other reasons for doing any professional course? Okay, knowledge. Okay, that's a hopefully you gain knowledge by the end of the course. In India, unfortunately, nobody studies for knowledge. They study just for exam. You should not study for exam. Somebody was saying that writing the exam is the most difficult part. That means you're studying because you want to study. Don't like to write exams, but unfortunately in India we study for the exam. When I do a question, there are so many times the student will ask, "Sir, this question will come for how many marks, sir?" And if I say like 2 or 3 marks, skip, sir. It's okay. 2 or 3 marks. Who will put so much efforts? I don't need to know about it. If it's going to come for 2 marks in the exam, better I skip it. So hopefully you are studying for knowledge as well. Okay. Any other purpose? Any other reason? Money. Very nice. Of course, doing a professional course will give you rewards as well. You get good money. You earn financially well. You earn well. Experience during the internship. Okay. The value, the respect that you get after passing out is going to be immense. It's going to be huge. Not just you, but of course, your entire family will be taken as a very. Your parents will get different respect once you clear. Also, I've seen that. Of course. What else? So from the beginning, what were the advantages of doing ACCA or any professional course? One is knowledge. One is global opportunities. Then one is the flexibility that you have. One is money. Then very important. Network. Okay, you're an association of different group of people. Of course, the better group that you are in association with, your growth and your career also, it gets an impact over there. What else? The amount of hard work that you put in, the amount of discipline that you put in, the amount of patience that it's going to give you, you come out as a different person by the end of the course. It is going to take about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years by the time you complete the entire course, maybe 4 or 5 years as well. But you come out as a completely different person. What you were, like you said, in 10th standard, and what you come out as a professional is going to be hugely different. And of course, adding on one more point, you know you're going to get a better spouse. Better spouse, why? Of course, if you're a professional, you will choose your spouse also to be a professional. Agree, yes or no? If you are well educated, you will want your spouse also to be well educated. It's one of the advantages of doing a professional course. Okay. What else? What else would you like to know about me, or what else would you like to know about the course before we start? Of course, they've done an orientation program as to what is ACCA, what the paper pattern is, where to study from, how to approach the course. Anything else specifically you want to know, or maybe just start with the syllabus and see how it goes? And yes, dear. Laptop is suggested because it's same like if you're writing an exam and you don't have writing practice, you go to the exam and your speed is impacted, your performance is impacted. Similarly, because this exam happens on a laptop or a computer system, it's of course better to have practice on the system itself. So yes. How many of you carry laptop to class? Okay, I bought it because yeah, hopefully that's what, like I said, I mean, see, you can practice on by writing as well. Whatever notes I dictate, you can write it down as well. But in the exam hall, It's going to be on the system itself. So if you're not used to typing, even if you know the answer, you might not type at the required speed, you might not use the required shortcuts. So as much as you practice on the system, it's going to be better for the exam. I would suggest to carry a laptop. Yes. I mean, you can either have it on the word or you can have written notes, whatever you prefer to read. Because your notes are for reading purpose, for your revision purpose when you're studying. So many people prefer to study from a book and paper. You have handwritten notes. But many students today, they prefer to study on their mobile. They prefer to study on a tablet or a device. Then you can maintain your notes on the electronic form, no problem. However, you are comfortable for the notes, but at least carry a device so that you get used to using the device. That's the main objective. I remember when I was in CA final, I knew the answers, but I couldn't write. Why? Because CA final, I mean, you've done 3 years of articleship, and 3 years of articleship, you're only on the laptop. And I didn't know how to write that time because I was only using laptop. I mean, we of course used to write in class, but that was hardly 1 hour per day or maybe 1.5 hour per day. So in the exam hall, 3 hours, my hand was not writing. I knew the answer, but physically hand was not supporting. These challenges, you can overcome if you just get a laptop and the device, get used to the system in the class itself. Maybe get it at least alternate day or so that you get used to it for the exam. That's the only purpose. Anything else? Okay, I'll come to that point. Okay. Okay, so this was what one or two things that students had. Online students, are you all attending? Hello, online students. I just gave an introduction before the video could start in. Are you people there? Is there any student online? You can reply on the chat box. Yes, dear. I'm trying to think. Get it for a few days and then let me just see how you're able to manage, and then just checking if the online students are attending or not. Okay. Anyways, let's continue. Giving you a few details of the class. Your class starts every day at 5 p.m. So can we start every day sharp at 5 p.m.? Anybody wants to come a little late? There was one student who had spoken to me before joining. She said she'll come at 5:30. Is that student present in class? She said every day she'll come at 5:30 because she was doing a job or something. I don't think that student is there today. Okay. 5 o'clock we can start every day. Everybody's comfortable. How many of you going to a morning college? What time your college gets over? 1:30. Very maximum 3. Okay. Anybody after 3 o'clock? Nobody. So you can reach comfortably by 5 o'clock. Yes. Okay. Classes are going to go on up to they're going to go on up to 8:30 p.m. In between, we're going to have a break. What time we'll have the break is not certain. I'll give a break for 30 minutes. Generally, we'll prefer to take the break at around 6:45. So whenever we take a break, 6:30 or 6:45 or maybe 7 o'clock, whatever time we take the break, it'll be for 30 minutes. We'll try around 6:40 to take a break. Is that fine? Okay. So that'll be the timings of the class first of all. Anybody wanting to run away before 8:30? Sir, I'll not get a bus or I have to travel very far away. I can't travel back. I'm Cinderella. I have to reach back home before certain time. Nobody? Okay, so 8:30 then is fine. Your classes will be from 5 to 8:30. We'll have a 30-minute break in between. Whatever time we take the break, if you feel it's very tiring, if it's very heavy the syllabus, let me know. We'll take a break at that time. Otherwise, approximately 6:40 will be the break. Is that fine? Yes, sir. Okay. Coming to certain rules of the classroom. Do you like rules? Yes, sir. Very good. Thankfully. How many of you say yes? And how many of you say no? My dear, there's two options, yes or no. Please choose one. Otherwise, we assume third option. Good, good. Yeah. Okay. So once again, first in the, how many of you like rules? And how many of you don't like rules? Okay. Madam, you selected something behind you. Anaga, behind Anaga. Yeah, yeah. What you selected? You like rules. Okay. Two very basic rules I will give you. Rule number one is attendance. My dears, in a college, if you don't have a minimum attendance criteria, then you are not allowed to write the exams. What is that minimum attendance that you need? It depends on the college, but approximately they say 70, 75, 80%. Agree, yes or no? If you do not maintain the minimum 75% attendance criteria, then you are not allowed to write the exam. You don't get your hall ticket to write the exam. What is that minimum attendance criteria for ACCA classes? That minimum attendance criteria is 100%. I want you all to attend 100% of the class. Who is keeping this track? If you don't attend 100%, what will happen? The academy will not give you the board will not give you the admit card, and then you cannot write the exam. Correct? So there is no such rule. Dhanush sir is keeping a rule of 100% attendance. Why? You may, if you miss a particular day, it becomes very difficult to follow the syllabus on the next day. So the first rule that I keep is attendance, and along with attendance comes another rule, which is punctuality. So whenever you're attending classes, attend from 5 to 8:30, and whatever break time we have decided, stick to that. Come back to class on time. Is that fine? First rule, easy to follow. How many of you will follow? How many of you prefer, no, no, let me come late to class, it's okay, Dhanush sir will not tell anything. Please come to class on time. Okay. I mean to come to class on time, and I go back to this particular break time that I'm discussing, 30 minutes. Do you want a break of 30 minutes? Or do you think 15-minute break is sufficient? I'll tell you why. If you come back in 15 minutes, then we close 15 minutes early. Basically, I have to have 3 hours of class every day. So the 30-minute break is not necessary. If you feel necessary, I definitely don't mind giving it. If you come back, excuse me, if you come back to class early, we will leave early on that specific day. So how many of you say, no, sir, we need a 30-minute? Okay, how many of you are comfortable with 15 minutes? Okay, so 15 to 20 minutes is what we will decide, and then we will leave 10 minutes early. So I think all of us are comfortable with that point. Okay, you have a nearby Puliogre point where you can go and come back within 15-20 minutes. You can have your coffee, you can have your tea and come back if you want to. 15-20 minutes is sufficient generally. If a specific day you need more time, let me know. That's fine, we can take more time. Okay, coming down to the next rule. Point number 2, carry all your stationery. Carry all stationery meaning what? For ACCA exam, whatever is required, please carry. What is required? Your laptop is required. So try to carry the laptop as much as possible. But even if you're not carrying a laptop, what is needed? At least carry a book to write your notes. How many of you come to class without book? There'll be some students. How many of you come to class without a book? How many of you come to class with a book? And the book that you have bought, is it a new book or some rough note which was lying in the house? New book. Oh, very smart you people are. Anybody kept that, 6 subjects, 1 book? Yeah, you would have kept some, for BCom you can keep that, or for your 11th and 12th you can keep, 6 subjects in the same book. Prefer not to do that. Keep a separate notebook, keep a separate place where you're going to access all your study material. Is that fine? Yes. First 2 rules quite simple. Let's come down to the third rule. Anybody wants to add any rule before I go to the third one? No, sir. Okay. The next one will be the method of taking class. We can have 2 methods of taking class. One is where I give you all the notes, I dictate all the notes, I solve all the questions, then you copy down or you write it down. Second method is where I give you a certain topic, you tell me what you know about the topic, we discuss on that topic, I tell you what is correct, I tell you what is wrong, then we discuss further, I teach further. Whenever we're taking any question, I'll give you 1 minute, I'll give you 2 minutes, you think about that question, you let me know how you want to approach the question. I'm not expecting the answer, but I'm expecting, if this XYZ is asked to be calculated, how will you start calculating? So that's the second method. First method, where I teach you everything and you copy down, you write down, you have any doubt, feel free to ask, no problem. Second method, where I allow you to first let me know Sorry. Second one, I'll let you tell me whatever you know about that topic or about that particular question which you can attempt, which you cannot attempt. What you feel about that question, you let me know, and we go ahead to solve. How many of you want method 1 of taking class? How many of you want method 2 of taking class? Choose one option, man. Huh? All three are. Which was the third one? Both of them are fine. Okay, few places, sir, you only do it, sir. Few places we'll try to do. Okay, that's also allowed. But if you want the second method of taking class, then one thing is very important. What is that? Attention focus is important in both the methods. But if you want a second method, one thing is very important. Exactly right. If you want the second method of taking class, then you have to interact with me. You tell me whatever you know about the subject. Nobody is going to judge you here. Nobody is going to say, hey, that girl gave wrong answer. Don't talk to that person. She's not nice. Nobody is going to judge you here. So anybody come here to select a spouse? ಈ ಹುಡ್ಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಂಗ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Nobody is going to judge you. If you know about the topic, you speak about it. If you're right, very good. If you're wrong, then we all learn about what is right. But if you want the second method, then it's very important that you interact. Don't feel that somebody is going to judge you over here. Everyone's come to learn. So speak whatever you know about the topic, and then we'll go further about it. Is that fine? Yes, sir. Coming down to the fourth rule, sir. How many rules you'll give, sir? All easy to follow. Yes or no? Hey, Kopjasti class. Say yes or no. Eaten something and come to class, right? Yeah, already you want break, is it? We've just started now. Okay. So I say Kopjasti class because nowadays Gen Z generation don't bother to reply. Say yes, no. See, they don't bother to reply itself. So say yes, sir, no, sir, kind of keep interacting with the faculty so that, it becomes a healthy classroom. Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. Hardly few of you replied. Last two boys, did you reply? Come this side. Very good. Okay. Hey, come full this side now. Why you want to hide behind her and sit? Okay. I would like to see everyone, please. Okay. Pratimesh, little that side. Thank you. Okay. Those girls are not seen. Tomorrow onwards, sit front. Okay. Okay. Very good. Coming down to the fourth rule of class. Very simple. No disturbance in class. Can we use a phone? No. Can we use, I want to give my OTP. I'm getting a delivery. Can I give the OTP to my friend? My mom is calling. Can I attend the call? My dad is calling. Can I attend the call? Can I eat in class? I'm feeling very hungry. Simple rule. No disturbing the class. You do what you want, but no disturbing the class. You're getting an important call, walk out, finish the call and come back. Want to give an OTP to your friend or you want to give a message to somebody, go walk out, finish it and come back. Want to use the washroom? You don't have to ask me, sir, can I go to washroom? You'll go and come back. But when you're going out, I expect you to come back. Okay, don't go out and then run away somewhere. Come back to class. How many of you have a habit of going for chai break? Chai tea. How many of you have a habit of going for sutta break? Sutta means cigarette. So if you have a habit going out, come back. Aita? Eating. Can we eat in class? If you're eating in class, eat at a situation that you're not disturbing the neighbor. Artha aito? Very important. If you're eating in class, share with me also. Okay. Of course, right. So yeah, when I say eating in class, I mean that there could be somebody who is working, who's come from an office and then coming back to class. There could be someone who is attending a college till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then coming to class. I do understand it might become difficult to finish eating and then come. It's okay. You come to class and eat. Don't miss half an hour of class because you have to go eat somewhere and then come. It's okay. Come to class and eat. No problem. Just don't make sure that you're not disturbing the other person. Is that fine? Yes, sir. Simple 4 rules to follow. Can we go ahead with the next point? Who will follow all 4? Very good. Anyone you don't want to follow? Anyone you want to add? No, sir. Okay. Where do we reach you for doubts, sir? Here itself, I'll tell you. Please reach me for doubts on WhatsApp. You can reach me on Telegram also, but I don't reply on Telegram as fast as I use WhatsApp. WhatsApp is more easy, friendly to use, so I reply faster on WhatsApp. Can we ask doubts on Instagram? Instagram is generally for reel forwarding and memes and whatever tagging over there. So avoid asking doubts on Instagram. Ask doubts on WhatsApp. That will give you the fastest reply. Or you can ask on Telegram as well. It's also fine. Is that okay? So you can reach me on 9902261291. I give I gave this number for what? I gave this number for doubts. I gave this number for doubts and for no other purpose. Yes or no, sir? The day I give this in any batch, the day I give my number in any batch, that day I get 100 OTPs from unnecessary websites. Don't go and register that number on any website. Yes or no, sir? Huh. So you can reach me on WhatsApp and you can reach me at any time. And when you're messaging me, you don't have to message me, hi, sir, how are you? Did you have lunch? Did you have coffee? Not needed. Why? Because when you message me, I'm not going to reply immediately. You might message me at 1 o'clock and I might reply at 8 o'clock. So you will ask me 1 o'clock, did you have lunch? 8 o'clock, I will reply yes. Then next day, 9 o'clock, you would have messaged me. So unnecessary, there's a lag in the doubt. Directly message me the doubt and I'll reply whenever I'm free. Is that fine? Yes or no, sir? Say yes or no. Full kopjasti. This class has full kopjasti. This generation has full kopjasti. They can't say yes or no also. Correct? At least say no for that at least. No, sir, we are full kopjasti people. Yeah, we'll not say yes, we'll not say no. Okay, full attitude. Yeah, somebody's asking kopjasti means what? Full attitude, exactly. How many of you from Bangalore? How many of you know Kannada? That means you know Kannada. How many of you don't know Kannada? Don't worry, I also don't know Kannada. My Kannada, I mean, I'm born and brought up in Bangalore. I know to read Kannada, I know to write Kannada, but my Kannada and speaking is very butler. I mean, I get stuck at times because there's nobody in touch today to speak Kannada. That's why it's a little butler. Otherwise, I'm comfortable. I know to write Kannada very well. I studied first language Kannada also. Okay, so coming to the first point, attendance. Is it possible to maintain 100% attendance? No, why no? Sometimes what will happen? Sometimes health issues. Okay, yeah, Dhanush sir only took, 2 days off yesterday and day before yesterday. So, sir, of course, if you can take leave, we can also take leave. I do understand health issues. If not health issues, college. Please don't tell me, please, for any professional course, don't tell me college is one reason. You have to prioritize either you're doing college or you're doing the professional course. In college, you have your semester exam, no problem. Don't tell me internals, don't tell me assignments, don't tell me project work or something. Semester exam, absolutely understandable. Okay? ಏನಿದೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ semester exam, okay, no problem. So apart from that, grandfather died, grandmother died. Nowadays, so they'll tell my pet is not feeling well, sir. So if not pet not feeling well, sir, with girlfriend I have to go for one movie, sir. One date, sir. One date at least per week allowed, no, sir. Any reason you're not attending class, what to do? Watch the recording and then come back to the next class. Artha aito? Okay. In ACCA, there is one faculty. You do you know about ACCA? Those of you who have attended before, you might have researched about certain faculties. Do you know someone? There is one faculty who gives chocolate to students every day. Don't know? Aditya told you. Who is that? He told chocolate. Huh? So chocolate means Dhanush sir. You understood. So there, I don't know if I have chocolates in my bag. I generally have. Yeah, I have today. Today it's munch. Which one it will be? That depends on the day. So there is one faculty. Yeah. First, let me come to story. There is one faculty who gives chocolate to his students every day. If you were the student, which chocolate you would want? Yes, madam. Any chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate, sir. Any chocolate you give, I'll be very happy. Dhruv, Kit Kat. Okay. Agnivesh? Anything is fine. That day I remember you stole Kit Kat only, if I'm not wrong. Okay. Sachi. Sachi? Milky Bar. Okay. Momika? Kit Kat. This side, Shreyas. Swaroop. S is correct, name is correct. No problem. Yes, Swaroop. Milky Bar. Because she chose Milky Bar or your favorite is Milky Bar? Okay. Vidya. Virija. Any chocolate is fine. So every day that faculty is giving a chocolate to the student. Whichever is your favorite chocolate, that chocolate we are going to give to the student. You'll take? Okay. You have ACCA class, let me assume, for 40 days. So every day you take a chocolate. You take the chocolate and go back and keep in your fridge. Second day you come to class, you attend the class. At the end of the class, sir gives you a chocolate. Take a chocolate and keep it in your fridge. Third day, you come to class. At the end of the session, sir gives you a chocolate. You go back home, keep it in your fridge. 40 days of class you have attended, you have collected 40 chocolates. 40 chocolates are there in your fridge. And after the end of 40 days, you're telling your classmates, bye bye, let's go and study and see you after the exam. Yes or no? Yes, sir. When you go back home, you realize now you have 40 chocolates with you. What are you going to do with 40 chocolates? Eat one every day. Okay. Those 40 chocolates are for you and for you only. What will you do with those 40 chocolates? Cook some. What you'll cook with chocolate, man? You can bake a cake. Okay, technically. Okay. I thought he'll say cook biryani. I was wondering chocolate biryani. Okay. What did you mean by cook something? Yeah. Okay. Matlab you went a dessert only. Okay. So any kind of dessert you'd make. Okay. Nice. And you'd eat nicely. Okay. With that girl or? Oh, okay. Okay. And what would others do? Save it for whom? 40 days you've saved only. It will get expired. How many more days will you save? Till expiry you'll save it. And then after that? No, I'm saying it's for you only. You cannot distribute it. Oh, very nice. 40 days continuously keep rewarding yourself. That was the reward only which I'm giving you. So after the class, whenever you studied, you will go and eat one chocolate. Okay, nice. In some of the batches, they were like, sir, I'll go sell the chocolates. And whoever asks me this, I tell, are you Marwadi? They'll generally be like, yes, sir. Okay. And that's why first I told the chocolate was for you and for you only. So now, my dears, after 40 days, you see that you have 40 chocolates and you start eating those 40 chocolates at once. You start eating those 40 chocolates at once. What will happen? Point number one, your health will get upset. Your teeth will get upset, your stomach will get upset. Worst case scenario, get diabetes. Okay, hopefully you don't get diabetes, but at least definitely your teeth and stomach will get upset. Second situation, you'll give up eating those 40 chocolates. You might eat 3, you might eat 4. Maybe if you love chocolates, you might eat 10. Anybody more than 10 at a time? No. So 40 chocolates you cannot eat at a time. Correct? What to do? Had we not kept those 40 chocolates every day, if we had eaten one chocolate, would you give up eating the chocolate? No. Every day one small chocolate you can eat? Yes, sir. You've eaten, yeah. You have not accumulated your chocolates. You're eating one chocolate every day. You do not give up eating the chocolate, and your health also does not fall upset. Yes or no? That comes down to the sixth rule. What is the sixth rule? The sixth rule is to eat chocolate every day. What is the chocolate that Dhanush sir is giving you? The chocolate that I'm giving you every day is in the form of syllabus. You just have to do one thing. Please, please, please do not accumulate your chocolates. Accumulated chocolates is going to become very difficult to, eat at the end. Eat your chocolate every day. Your journey also will remain smooth. Our journey also will remain smooth. Hopefully, you'll get success faster. Yes or no? People who are not able to attend class, don't keep your recording pending. I'll watch it tomorrow. I'll watch it at the end of the week. I'll watch it on Sunday because we don't have class. No. You have missed class today. It's a 3-hour class. Sit and watch. At least watch 1.5, 2 hours and come back. Don't, come to class without knowing what has happened in the previous class. Don't accumulate your syllabus. Try to revise on a regular basis. Try to practice questions on a regular basis. And of course, if you're missing class, up to date yourself on a regular basis. Yes or no, sir? Simple. When I say eat chocolate every day, what does it refer to? Go home and study on a daily basis. Is that clear? Yes. Okay. So with this, let us start off with syllabus. We are starting with our subject called as performance management. Before knowing performance management, there is one paper at foundation level as well, which was related to performance management. Anybody gave the first level of ACCA? Anybody written the first level? All of you took exemption and directly came to second level. Okay. There is one paper called as management accounting, which is a base for performance management. Now, if you don't know management accounting, performance management might become a little tricky. So first, can we study a few topics of management accounting which will help you to come to performance management? Yes, sir. How many of you have completed graduation? How many of you in first year? How many of you in second year? How many of you in third year? So majority either completed or first year. So those of you who are in second, third and completed category, you would have had some subject called as costing. How many of you have heard of this subject? costing, cost accounting, management accounting. Name is different, but concepts remain the same. First year syllabus, first year students, you would have never heard of it. So costing is one of those subjects where you would have studied certain topics. Same, those topics come as management accounting, and an additional level to that is nothing but performance management. Can we start? Okay. If we need to understand costing, let's start with certain basics. Yes, my dear. Let's start with certain basics. Can you all tell me what is cost? We'll come to cost sheet, of course. Can you first tell me what is cost? Anyone, what is cost? The amount incurred to make a product or person. Okay, great. Who was it? Yes, madam. Once again. Anyone. Somebody answered. Just repeat what you said. Huh. Amount of money incurred to make a product or deliver service. Okay, madam. Tell me. Whatever you incur to make a product or to give a service, that's what is the cost of the product or the service. Okay, you were trying to say something. Yes, sir. I in the spirit of the last paper, I can't touch what cost is what it cost. Oh, okay. Okay, please understand accounts is very different from costing. So whatever you study in financial reporting or accounts, it's extremely different from what you're going to study in costing. Financial reporting accounts is majorly done from whose perspective? From the external users perspective, where you know your shareholders, your investors, your government authorities are going to use your financial reporting. But costing is done mostly from an internal perspective. The outsiders are not going to use your cost information. Your financial reporting, your financial accounting is done from external users perspective. Costing is done from internal users perspective. Both are extremely different. Okay, so what according to you is cost? Okay. Stinda? No, no, continue. Make sure I get what I spent on material or on my skill and plus something together. Okay. Uh, I'll just elaborate on what all of them have spoken. Somebody said amount spent for two reasons. One, to deliver a product, or they said what? Deliver a service or make a product. Okay. So they said to make a product or to deliver a service is called as cost. How many of you agree with this? Okay. Another student added, sir, whatever amount is spent to make the product, whatever amount is spent to deliver the service, plus add some amount for my skill, plus add some amount of profit, and this is called as cost. Tell me which one is correct, blue or blue plus orange? I hope you can identify colors on the board. So which one is correct? My dears, blue plus orange will give you what? Blue plus orange will give you the selling price, which can also be called as the revenue. Once you add the profit element, then you get your sales value or you get your selling price. Amount incurred for delivering a particular product, or making a particular product or delivering a service, including the skill of that particular person. Skill, what do you mean by skill of the person? Because the person has a skill, you might pay him certain salary, you might pay him certain remuneration. Bangalore weather is awesome since past 2 days. I think it's raining heavily, and yesterday there were hailstorms also, snowing. Anybody wants to go out and see? Want to drench in the rain? No, it's okay, then come back to class. Okay. So what I was saying, amount paid for a particular skill would be nothing but the salary, the remuneration, the wages paid to that particular person depending on his skill level. So the total cost involved will be called as cost. The total amount of expenditure involved will be called as cost. Is that comfortable? Chalo, we'll start writing down. You can put a heading. Basic concepts. Basic concepts. Cost. Basic concepts. Cost. amount of expenditure, amount of expenditure incurred for a specific, for a specific article, for a specific article or product, or for an activity or service is called as cost. Amount of expenditure incurred for a specific article or product or for a particular activity or service is called as cost. Can you give me the example of an article or a product? A simple example. Can I say a t-shirt, a shoe, a chocolate? An example for an activity or a service. I can say delivery charges, or instead of delivery, I can call it as transportation charges. Transportation is a service. Any other example? Teaching services, etc. Okay. Let's take an example. I want to find out the cost of one t-shirt. Don't go on the drawing, try to go on the concept. One t-shirt, can you tell me what will be the cost? 100 rupees, where you will get my t-shirt. Okay, you all are going to become professionals. Don't wear 100 rupee t-shirt, please. Okay, so let me say the cost of the t-shirt is 1000 rupees. How did you get to know that the cost of the t-shirt is 1000 rupees? If you have to find out, what will you check? To make this t-shirt, you had to use some raw material. What raw material did we use? We used certain fabric, which could either be cotton, it could be wool, it could be silk, depending on whatever t-shirt is there. You have used certain fabric. Then you have used thread, you have used buttons. What else did we involve? What else cost is involved? Of course, one is raw material. Then you also have labor cost. What do you mean by labor cost? Somebody came, he made that t-shirt, you would have paid some amount to that person who made the t-shirt. That is called as labor. Wages paid to the laborer, wages paid to the employee. What else? Probably you have some other costs like your machinery, like your electricity, like your rent. Finding out the total cost, this is called as costing. What is cost? What is cost? Kobjasti class. What is cost? Amount incurred to, amount incurred for a particular product or for a particular service is called as cost. The techniques and process of ascertaining cost is called as costing. Everybody able to follow? Continue to write down over there. Point 2, costing. Point 2, costing. Techniques and process of ascertaining costs. Okay. Below this, you can put a heading, classification of costs. Classification of costs. Classification of costs. Below that, point number A, on the basis of element. On the basis of element. Classification of costs on the basis of element. Give me a minute, I'm just checking for the online students again. Online students, are you there with me? Are we connected? Is the audio, video all fine? Okay. Let's continue classification of costs on the basis of element. Can you tell me which are the elements of nature? Do you know elements of nature? Fire, wind, water, fire, wind, water, earth. Wind and air is the same. There are five elements. Which are they? Sir, we don't know, sir. Okay. So the five elements are fire, water, air, soil, and sky or space. Those are the five elements of nature. Based on element, what are the different classification of costs? Below that, write down there are three elements for costing. One is material, one is labor, and can anyone tell me what is the third one? Ah, very nice. Write down third one, other expenses. I expected that word to come up, and that's why I said, give me the third one. We'll talk about the word that came up as well. On the basis of element, everybody, what are the three classification categories that we have? Everybody, what are the three categories that we have? Material, labor, and other expenses. My dears, hope just the class. Listen carefully. You want method 1 of teaching or method 2? I am okay if you say method 1. I will keep speaking. You listen, you don't listen, up to you. If you want method 2, then I need interaction. I need a response. Start speaking. Yes or no, sir? Thank you. On the basis of element, we have three categories: material, labor, and other expenses. Each of material, labor, and other expenses is further divided into two categories. You have direct material, indirect material. You have direct labor, indirect labor, and you have direct expense and indirect expense. My dears, when I'm teaching, I'm not very handsome. Don't see me. Keep writing. Artha aita? Second thing, whatever I write on ruled paper, pause 1 second. You can see that I've been writing on two types of screens. One is an unruled paper. Whatever I've written in unruled paper is for an explanation purpose. It's okay whether you write this point or no. Whatever I write on ruled paper, try to see that it is there in your note. Is that fine? Okay. And as I'm writing, you also keep writing. On the basis of element, we have three categories, which is material, labor, and other expenses. Each of them is divided into direct and indirect. Direct material, direct labor, direct expense, and indirect expense. Each of these items, direct material, direct labor, and direct expense together is called as prime cost. All the direct elements together, direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses together is called as prime cost. What is remaining? Indirect. Indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses together is called as overheads. So you can observe that there are three categories: material, labor, other expenses. Each is subdivided into two: direct and indirect. Direct material plus direct labor plus direct expense is called as prime cost. Indirect elements together are called as overheads. Now, that's the first misunderstanding that some students have. The three categories are what? Material, labor, and overheads. Material, labor, and overheads are not the three categories. Overheads is a part of material labor which is of indirect nature. So, what is this direct, indirect? What is indirect? Can you give me examples? Okay, direct went absolutely right. Indirect, not exactly right. Anyone else? Direct, indirect, what's the difference? R? Okay, why? Can you explain? One second. Are you able to hear what they are saying also? Yeah. No. Again, your what direct, indirect you both are saying is in terms of financial accounting. Okay, madam. Okay. Adding to your point, or going through what you have said, you tell me wages. Will it be direct or indirect? Okay. You were saying something, sir? Okay. Okay. Chalo, let's understand what is direct, indirect. Right down below prime cost, direct expenses can be identified can be identified on a per unit basis. Can be identified on a per unit basis. And below overheads, what will you say? These cannot be traced. These cannot be traced or identified on a per unit basis. These cannot be identified or traced on a per unit basis. Okay. Let me go back to the examples, or let me go back to the categories that I have said. Direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. My dears, I am saying if you can identify on a per unit basis, such an expense is called as a direct expense. Can you tell me, for making one t-shirt or for making one shirt, for stitching one shirt, how much cloth is required? How much? Hey, Kopjasti class, you know shirt? To make one shirt, how much cloth is required? It depends on the person. Dhanush sir size 3 meters. Yes or no? If you're a little thinner, say 2 meters is required. Dhanush sir, maybe 3 meters is required. Let me take an example of 3 meters. To make one shirt, you need 3 meters of cloth. To make 10 shirts, 30 meters. To make 100 shirts, 300 meters. Can I identify on per unit basis? Yes. Such an expense is called as direct expense. Example for direct material, can I say, for example, cloth? Yes, sir. Another example, to make one shirt, how many buttons do I need? It depends on the style. You put 5 buttons on the front, you put one on the pocket. Nowadays they put on the collar also, then they'll put on the sleeves also. So let me say you need 7 buttons for one shirt. One shirt, 7 buttons. 10 shirts, 70 buttons. Can you identify on a per unit basis? Yes. So that expense is called as a direct expense, which can be identified per unit. What is direct labor, sir? Example, the wages paid to the laborer. If he makes one t-shirt, you will give him 50 rupees. He made two t-shirts. How much will you give? 100. He made 10 t-shirts. 10 into 50 rupees, you will give him 500. Yes or no, sir? Yes, sir. This is also reminding me for you people to bring a calculator to class. How many of you come to class with calculator? Very good. Luckily, your exam is on a device, on a computer system. You don't need calculator. But if you don't bring a computer system to class, at least carry calculator. Why? I asked you 10 into 50. People are seeing my face. 10 into 50? It's okay if you don't know. Type on calculator and tell me the answer at least. Artha aita? Yes, sir. So wages paid to the laborer becomes a direct labor cost. What is direct expense, sir? Example, I can say royalty. Now I told you people to use calculator. How many of you have seen a calculator? Which calculator do you prefer to use? Casio, Citizen, Flair. Agree, yes or no? From tomorrow, I say all of you have to use Dhanush brand calculator. How many of you will agree? Nobody bothered to agree. On soon in jate. At least for that courtesy, you should have told no, sir. We'll use it's okay. Nobody raised hand. Just in India. So if I tell you, of course, you're not going to use Dhanush brand calculator because you're not used to it. Agree, yes or no? But I have a manufacturing unit where I can produce 10 lakh calculators. Nobody is ready to buy my calculator. So what will I do? I approach Casio company and I tell them I will use your brand on my particular calculator. Now, will you be ready to buy the calculator? Yes. But can I use Casio company brand on my calculator? No. I tell them I'll use your brand and I will pay you royalty. Royalty is amount paid to use somebody else's asset. To use somebody else's asset, whatever amount I pay is called as royalty. In this example, what did I use? The brand value or the brand name of Casio company. Agree, yes or no? Yes, sir. I want to start a medical shop. If I want to start a medical shop, can I go and start directly? No, I need a medical certificate. No, I'll not get a medical certificate. What to do? I call my doctor. I call my friend who is a doctor and I tell them, you give me your certificate. I'll put it on the wall and I'll start a medical shop. What will I pay for that? I'll pay royalty to the doctor. To use somebody else's asset, the amount that you pay is called as royalty. When I paid royalty to Casio company, I told them for each calculator, I will pay you 5 rupees. Can I identify on per unit basis? Yes. Such an expense becomes a direct expense. Everybody able to follow? Direct expenses together are called as prime cost. Direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses together are called as a prime cost. Prime cost or direct expenses are those which can be identified on a per unit basis. Indirect expenses together are called as what? Overheads. Overhead is not the third category of expense. Indirect expenses together are called as overheads. Can you give me example for indirect material? Example, oil or water used in the particular factory. Now, in that particular factory where I'm stitching the shirt, don't you think I'll have a sewing machine? Yes, sir. For the smooth running of the sewing machine, I need to pour oil in that sewing machine? Yes, sir. How much oil are you going to pour? Every day morning when I come to the factory, the laborer is pouring 2 drops of oil. After the break, after the lunch break, again he'll pour 3 drops of oil. For one shirt, how many drops? I cannot identify on a per unit basis. Such a expense becomes as a indirect expense. Everybody able to follow? Indirect labor example can be salary given to the accountant. Accountant salary, how much we are going to pay? Let me take an example, 1 lakh rupees per month. If I make 1 unit, 1 lakh rupees. If I make 5 units, 1 lakh rupees. If I make 100 units, if I make 1 lakh units, 1 lakh rupees. It is not related to per unit. Those expenses are called as indirect expenses. Everybody able to follow? Indirect expenses, indirect other expense example, rent, electricity, etc. I hope you are comfortable in the style of writing. Whenever I write, generally, my notes will have a lot of colors. If I'm typing, I might not be able to use so many colors. I hope you're able to understand what is happening. Anybody wants any change, let me know. Able to understand? Speed of teaching, language, handwriting, all okay, good to go. Very good. Chalo. We've completed the first category on the basis of good morning. Good morning. Half of you are still sleeping. On the basis of element we have material, labor and other expenses. Each is divided into direct and indirect. Direct expenses are those which can be identified on a per unit basis. Indirect expenses are those which cannot be identified on a per unit basis. Comfortable everybody? Write down point B. Point B. On the basis, on the basis, on the basis of behavior. On the basis of behavior. Behavior can also be called as variability. Behavior can also be called as variability. On the basis of behavior, again we have 3 categories. On the basis of variability, we have 3 categories. Anyone knows? Fixed cost, fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Fixed cost, variable cost, and semi-variable cost. Below that, I am saying consider the following example. Consider the following example. Particulars, case A, B, C. Below the particulars column, I'm starting by saying number of students. Number of students 10, 100. Let's fill up case A and B first. Number of students are 10 and 100. Okay. Below that, point number B, rental expense. I would like to change the heading. Consider the following example for a coaching business. Dhanush sir is into teaching. He teaches students for CA, CS, CMA, ACC. So in that exam, in his coaching business, I'm giving you the following details. Case A, what is the number of students? 10. Case B, what is the number of students? 100. The rental expense in both the cases is rupees 1 lakh. Is rupees 1 lakh. Next item, books and material expenses. Books and material expenses. In the first case, it is 1000 rupees. In the second case, it is 10,000 rupees. Point number D, electricity and maintenance. Electricity and maintenance 35,000, 80,000 respectively. 35,000 and 80,000 respectively. I want you to tell me what will be case C if it is 50 students. I want you to study case A, study case B. I've given you the data when there is 10 students or when there is 100 students. And I'm asking you what will be the situation if there are 50 students. Try to think about it. Tell me the value of either A or B, or let me not call it as A, B, C because we have case A, B, C. Let me call it as X, Y, and Z. Any value X, Y, Z, if you tell me, I'll be happy. Try to think about it. Majority of you are saying X will remain how much? X will remain same. Whether I have 10 students or whether I have 100 students or whether I have 50 students, rental expense is going to remain kitna? 1 lakh. Okay, I'll come to it. Good. Why you would remain? Ah, yeah, correct. Okay. Anybody calculated why? Apart from those boys? Kitna Agnivesh? Okay. Okay. How many of you got 5? How many of you got other answer? Those of you got 5, little Kobjasti to tell 5. Okay. Anybody calculated Z? Thinking about it. Okay. Let's write down below that. In the above, in the above, we can observe that in the above, we can observe that point number one, rent is a fixed cost. Rent is a fixed cost. What do you mean by the word fixed cost? It remains same or equal on total basis. What is your total rent when there are 10 students? 1 lakh. When there are 100 students? 1 lakh. When there are 50 students? 1 lakh. An expense which remains same on a total basis always, irrespective of the quantity, irrespective of the production units, will be called as a fixed cost. Can we go to the next element? Yes. Now let's check for B category, books and material. For 10 students, it is 1000 rupees. Can you tell me for per student how much? For 10 students, I am paying 1000 rupees. For each student, how much? 1000 divided by 10, which will give you 100 rupees per student. When my number of students became 100, what was the total expense? 10,000. What will it be for per student? 10,000 divided by 100. Kitna? 100 rupees. This cost is called as what? The second category I'm going to say over there. What did I say? What did I call it? Books and material expenses. Okay. So below that you can continue by writing. Give me a second. Books and material expenses is a variable cost. What do you mean by a variable cost? What is the characteristic of a fixed cost? It remains fixed on what basis? It remains fixed on total basis. What is the characteristics of a variable cost? It remains the same not on a total basis, but it remains same on a per unit basis. Now, either you can say per student, or you can say per unit, or you can say per hour, depending on the nature of the organization. Everybody able to follow? Everybody able to follow? I go back to my example. In the first case, how much is it for per student? 100 rupees. In the second case, how much is it for per student? 100 rupees. Now, in the third case, how much will it be for per student? 100 rupees. Per student will remain same. 100 rupees. What will be the total expense? 100 rupees into 50 students, which will give you a total of 5,000. Everybody able to follow? Okay. Let's come down to third category. Third category, electricity and maintenance expenses. What is the total expense when there are 10 students? 35,000. What's the total expense when there are 100 students? 80,000. Is this a fixed cost? No. Why you are saying no? Sir, because 35 and 80,000 both are not same. If the total amount is same, then it is called as a fixed cost. Is this a variable cost? Let us check. How much is it for per student when there are 10 students? 35,000 divided by 10, 3,500 rupees. When there are 100 students, what is the value per student? 80,000 divided by 100, which is 800 rupees. Sir, total is also not same. Per student, per unit is also not same. Such a cost is called as what? Semi-variable cost. Write down third case. What did I call it? Electricity and maintenance, right? Yes. Electricity and maintenance is a semi-variable cost. Below that, I will say it has both fixed and variable component. It has both fixed and variable component. Below that, 1 minute. Below that, variable component, variable component in a semi-variable cost, variable component in a semi-variable cost is equal to difference in cost divided by difference in output. Difference in cost divided by difference in output. Okay. Based on this formula, let us try to calculate what is the variable component. Tell me what is variable cost equal to. Difference in cost at 100 students. What is the total cost? 80,000. At 10 students, 35,000. What is the difference in cost? 80,000 minus 35,000. How much? Divided by difference in output. What is the output for 80? 100 students. What is the output for 35? 10 students. In my example, output is students. Of course, in a business, output will be number of units, number of products. Everybody able to follow? Okay. So the numerator here is 45,000 divided by numerator 90. What do you get? 5,000. What is this 5,000? 5,000 or 500? Just the class. That's why I'm telling take calculator. 500. What is this 500 rupees? 500 rupees is for per student. It's very important to highlight over there. Whatever I've calculated here is on a per unit basis. Is the yellow color visible? Not visible. I'll just use a dark color. Whatever we have calculated here is on a per student basis. Can I go to the next part of this question? Okay, let's continue understanding what will be the fixed component. Fixed component is equal to total cost minus total variable cost. Total cost minus total variable cost. Let us check. We have two levels of output. First, at 10 students, can you tell me what was the total cost for electricity and maintenance? 35,000. 35,000 is the total cost. From that, how much is the variable component? What was the variable component that we got? 500 rupees per student. How many total students are there? How many total students are there? 10. So 500 into 10. How much is the variable component? 5,000. Out of 35,000, 5,000 is the variable component. What would be the fixed component? 35,000 minus 5,000. 30,000 will be your fixed component. Now let me check if this is matching when there are 100 students. When there are 100 students, what was the total cost? Pause, pens down, listen on the board. When there were 100 students, what is the total cost? 80,000. 80,000 is total cost. Out of that, how much was variable component? How many per student variable component was 500. Number of students are 100. How much was variable component? 50,000. 80,000 total, variable 50. How much will be fixed? 30. You can see in both the cases, your fixed component of electricity maintenance is 30,000. Variable component is 500 rupees per student. Fixed component will remain same. Fixed component will remain same on what basis? On total basis. Variable component will remain same on per unit or per student basis. A semi-variable cost is one which has both fixed component and variable component. Can you give me examples of situations which are semi-variable expenses? A simple example could be a auto charge. How many of you sit in an auto? How many of you have sat in auto? Very good. When you go and sit in auto, what is the charge? Minimum is going to be 40 rupees. That means even if you travel for less than 2 kilometers, it will be 40 rupees. But if you travel for more than 2 kilometers, then 40 plus how much hour is the variable component. This is called as a semi-variable cost, which has both fixed component and semi-variable component. Any other example? Commission to a salesman depending on the structure that you decide. You may tell him that I'll pay you 500 rupees commission plus any additional commission on the number of sales that you make, number of profits that you earn. Another example could be telephone charges. Telephone charges when you all take a package to 1 GB X rupees. But if you use more than 1 GB of internet, then it is going to be a variable component. Everybody able to follow? Semi-variable cost is one which has both fixed component and variable component. Everybody stop writing. How to find out the variable component? Difference in cost divided by difference in output. That will give you variable component per unit. How to find out the fixed component? Total cost minus the variable. Variable cost here you are taking on total basis. How to calculate total variable cost? Variable cost per unit into number of units. अर्थ आता है everybody? समझ में आया? माइंदा? Say yes or no then. Thank you. Just write down whatever is pending. Did you finish writing? Yes, sir. Okay. From the beginning, what did we discuss today? We saw what is cost, we saw what is costing, and then we saw classification of cost on the basis of element, material, labor, other expenses divided into direct and indirect. Direct together is called as prime cost, indirect together is called as overheads. Then indirect is those which can be identified per unit, indirect are those which cannot be identified per unit. On the basis of behavior or variability, fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost. Fixed cost will remain same on total basis. Variable cost will remain same on per unit basis. Semi-variable cost will have both fixed component plus variable component. Comfortable? And then we saw in the semi-variable cost how to find out variable component, fixed component. Variable component is equal to difference of cost divided by difference of output. Fixed cost is equal to total cost minus total variable cost. Everybody comfortable? Let's take a break and I see you in how much time? 20 minutes. Okay. So, okay. So, welcome back everyone. Let us start off. Can you give me a recap what we were doing in the previous session? We started discussing about cost. We saw classification of cost on the basis of element and on the basis of behavior. On the basis of element, we have material, labor, and other expenses. On the basis of behavior, fixed cost, variable cost, semi-variable cost. Any doubt before we go ahead? Chalo. Below that, write down point number C. On the basis of function. On the basis of function. On the basis of function, we have four categories. Prime cost, factory overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. Okay, what is this prime cost? What is prime cost? All your direct expenses together are called as prime cost. Yes or no, sir? Okay, I come back to rules of classroom. What was rules of classroom? First one, attendance with punctuality. With punctuality. Second one, God bless you, people. Please eat chocolate every day. Okay, very important. Looking at your memory, it's double important now. Second one was carry stationery. Third one, interact with the faculty, the method of taking class. Fourth one, no disturbance in the class. And the fifth one was to eat chocolate every day. Agree, yes or no? What was I saying? I forgot. No, something I was saying. Wait, something I was saying. What is prime cost? I asked. And I went to rules of classroom. Why I asked rules? I'm thinking. No, some point, some rule I wanted to add. Yeah. What rule I wanted to add is sixth rule of class. This AC will always be on. Is this AC on? It's on. Please on this AC. If this AC is on, God will bless you, you'll pass in exam. If you off this AC, don't make me curse you. If you don't want AC, sit behind. This AC will always be on. Madam, please do the needful. There's a number on the remote. Remote number 1. There is 1, 2, and 3. So there are 3 remotes. This is third. This is 3. That's 3. It's written on the patch. Agniputa, please help. Hey, you're way taller than her, you can reach. Yeah, 1. Just switch it on. Just that button. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, it was on only. Oh, then I'm feeling hot today. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you, Puta. No, that's what I'm saying. If you don't want AC, you go sit somewhere in the behind. This AC, the rule number 6, this AC will be on. Taita, Dhanush sir, we cannot take class without AC. So I need that AC. Okay, come back to class. Everyone back to class? Everyone back to class? Okay. What is prime cost? All the direct element, all the direct elements together were called as prime cost. So can I say prime cost is nothing but direct material plus direct labor plus direct expenses right now? You can give me examples for direct expenses, wages, raw material purchases, royalty paid for production, etc. What are overheads? Overheads are expenses which are of indirect nature. That means they cannot be identified on a per unit basis. Overheads are further divided on the basis of their function. On the basis of function, we have factory overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. Can you try to think and tell me what do you mean by factory overheads? All the indirect expenses which are incurred at the factory, that means whichever is related to production, whichever is related to manufacturing, those indirect expenses are called as factory overheads. Write down indirect expenses incurred at the factory for production. Indirect expenses incurred at the factory for production. Can you give me examples? Power, fuel, rent, production manager salary, etc. Production manager salary will be incurred at the factory. Accountant salary. Accountant salary doesn't go at the factory. So production expenses or production overheads or factory overheads are those indirect expenses which are incurred at the factory which is related to production. What are administration overheads? Indirect expenses incurred at the office. They're not at the factory, but they're incurred at the office. Can you give me examples? Now, over there, I can say accountant salary, accountant salary, office rent, audit fee. What is audit fee? Audit fees. Fees paid to the chartered accountant for audit. Fees paid to a professional for audit. Legal charges paid to a lawyer. Is it incurred at the factory? No. But is it incurred in an organization? Yes. Coming under the category of administration overheads. What are selling and distribution overheads? Indirect expenses. Indirect expenses for sales and distribution. Indirect expenses for sales and distribution. I'm sure you can give me examples for these. Advertisement, delivery charges like transportation, commission paid to the salesmen are all sales and distribution expenses. I hope you are understanding the difference between, first of all, direct, indirect. On the basis of function, indirect expenses are subcategorized into factory overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. Factory overheads are those which are incurred at the factory for production. Administration overheads incurred at the office, basically for administration, maintenance. And then you have selling and distribution expenses, basically for sales, marketing. So I can continue to say example over there. Write down example. What did I say? Advertisement, delivery charges, packing charges, commission. All this comes under the category of sales and distribution. Sometimes my laptop acts little cranky. It's not allowing me to write. This is one such situation. Yeah. Advertisement, packing, delivery, commission, etc. Comfortable in what you're writing? Any doubt, please feel free to ask. Okay. Write down point number D. On the basis of on the basis of normality. on the basis of normality. Normal cost, abnormal cost. Normal cost, abnormal cost. Based on your understanding, based on the knowledge that you have, can anyone tell me what is either normal cost or abnormal cost? Andu? Okay. Okay. Nandu's friend. What's her name? What's her name? Pradyumna. Okay. Same. Tell me. Same, same. Same, same. Same, same, but different. So whenever you have to say, don't say same. You tell whatever is your answer. Artha aita? Everybody's answer will be same, same, but different. Definitely. Okay. So what is this normal, abnormal cost? Let us understand with the help of an example. Don't go on the drawing. Go from the concept. Sometimes my laptop acts cranky. Start it. Go my laptop. Okay. That means you have 30 seconds break. Take 30 seconds break till my laptop comes back to normal. Do you like breaks like this in between? If I give, I'll give only for 30 seconds. That too, it will be either when the laptop becomes like this or when I need to have water. Naveen, what is normal cost according to you? Okay. What's abnormal? Okay. Vireja. Okay. What is normal, abnormal according to you? Okay. So what majority of you are saying is absolutely right. Let's just understand what are the types of losses. Excuse me. On the board, you can see an example where we have two factories. One of the factories located in the north. Where is it? Factory A. Can you see alphabet A? This is factory A. Where is it? Somewhere in? Hey, Jammu Kashmir is here, pa. That's not there. Somewhere in Delhi. Delhi? Oh, Delhi is little more down. Huh? Okay. Assume Delhi. Okay. Okay. So one of the factories is in Delhi and one of the factories is in Mumbai. But I have my office, I have my showroom down in Chennai. I'm sending goods now from Mumbai to Chennai. In Mumbai factory, I've produced the goods. I'm sending them to Chennai for sales. How should I send them from Mumbai to Chennai? Transport. Which transport will work from Mumbai to Chennai? Ship will work. Mumbai also has a port and Chennai also has a port. So you can have a ship. So the ship is coming from Mumbai to Chennai. And when it is coming, I've sent shoes. For example, you can see on the board there are shoes. I don't know if you can see or no. What happened on the way? On the way there was tsunami and those shoes got lost. On the way there was a tsunami and those shoes got lost. What kind of loss is this called as? Did you expect that a tsunami will happen and your shoes will get lost? No, this is called as abnormal loss. You're sending the goods from Delhi to Chennai. How will you send? Now don't say ship. Why no ship? Because in Delhi there is no port. So you'll send by Dhanush sir, poor man, cannot afford flight. So I'm sending by road. Okay. So if I send the goods by road, uh, if I send the goods by road on the way, what happened? When they are coming on the way, The truck catches fire. The truck did not catch fire. There was a Gunda man who came, hit the driver, took away the goods and went. These losses are called as what? These losses are called as abnormal losses. Normal costs are those which are unavoidable, which is expected due to the nature of the product, due to the nature of production. Example, if I say I am into perfume business or petroleum business and I'm sending 10,000 liters of perfume, 10,000 liters of petrol from point A to point B, will 10,000 liters reach point B? No. Why no? On the way there will be some leakage, there will be some evaporation because of the nature of the product perfume, because of the nature of the product petrol. That cost cannot be avoided. Such costs are called as normal costs. Costs which cannot be avoided, which are not expected, are called as abnormal costs. Everybody able to follow? Go ahead to write down. I think the more I talk, the more my throat is getting affected. Okay, no problem. We'll continue for next 1 hour. Little less than 1 hour, thankfully. Okay. So what did you write down? Point number D. You wrote on the basis of normality, normal, abnormal. Below normal, write down these are costs. These are costs which are expected due to nature of product or production. Due to the nature of the product or due to the nature of production. Example, leakage, breakage, evaporation, etc. Abnormal costs. These are costs. These are costs which are not expected in business. Which are not expected in business and are not related to the product and are not related to the product. Example, loss by fire, natural calamities, etc. Loss by fire, loss by natural calamities, etc. Point number E, other costs. Write down point number E, other costs. First one below that, point number 1, product cost. Hyphen costs associated with a particular costs associated with a particular product. Costs associated with a particular product. Example, royalty, wages, raw material, etc. If you can identify the cost for a particular product, such costs are called as product cost. Second point, period cost. Period cost. Hyphen These are not assigned. These are not assigned to a particular product. These are not assigned to a particular product, but are given, but are given for a specific. What do you mean by period? For a specific time. For a specific period of time. For a specific period of time. Royalty is paid per unit. Wages to the laborer is paid per unit. Raw material that you buy for per unit. Those are called as product cost. You can identify for each product. Costs which you cannot identify for per product but are given for particular time period are called as period cost. Example, depreciation. Yes, depreciation can also be related to product depending on the method of depreciation. If we follow machine hour method, production unit method, then it can go on a product basis. Something which is not related to the product, rent, salary is all on period cost. So example, I can say rent, salary, etc. Right down below that, point number 3, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. I'm sure you would have heard of this word opportunity cost. Who can try to think and tell me what is opportunity cost? Take 30 seconds, think about it, frame a sentence, frame an answer, and let me know what is opportunity cost. Correct. Can you give an example or elaborate further? Right. Okay. Anaga wanted to say something. You were Anaga only, no? Huh. Okay. Okay. One word you missed, otherwise fine. Anybody else? What is opportunity cost? Okay. Okay. Let's. Okay. Most of you know what is opportunity cost. Let's take an example. Sorry, my throat is very bad. After at least the first session was fine, but the more I'm talking, the more it's going. Please cooperate next 4 days. Okay. Opportunity cost. Suppose I have an example one. I have with me 1 lakh rupees. I want to make an investment. Where I can invest? I can invest in shares or I can invest in. No, sir. Shares is very risky. I don't want to invest in shares. Then mutual funds also risky only. Okay. If not shares mutual, not shares mutual funds, you can invest in fixed deposit, very safe, but no very much return, not a lot of return. I can invest in real estate, SIPs is mutual funds. I can invest in gold or silver. I can invest in metals. I have only 1 lakh rupees, but I want to invest in 5 areas. What to do? Like if I invest, suppose let me say in shares, let me assume my return was 8%. In fixed deposit, my return is 6%. In gold and silver, looking at the market now, my return is how much? It could even go up to 50% as well. Let me take 30%. If I invest in shares, I will get 8% return. If I invest in gold, I will get 30% return. Assuming that my investment is 1 lakh, what's my return here? 1 lakh into 8%? 8,000 will be my extra profit that I earn. But if I'm invested in gold or silver, 30,000. How much extra? 22,000 is called as opportunity cost. What the benefit? The benefit that I forego by investing in shares instead of gold is called as opportunity cost. When you have different courses of option, when you have different courses of treatment, when you have different alternative chooses options to choose, you will choose only one option, and whatever you don't choose, that becomes your opportunity cost. Everybody able to follow? The benefit foregone in the second alternative will be called as your opportunity cost. Can we write down? The next best alternative. The benefit foregone in the next best alternative. Write down opportunity cost. The cost refers to value of sacrifice. This cost refers to value of sacrifice or benefit foregone. Benefit foregone in accepting an alternative course of action. In accepting an alternative course of action. Point number 4, sunk cost. Sunk cost. Anyone? Sunk cost? Loss. Okay. Sunk cost. The cost that has already taken place, correct? Which cannot be recovered back. No. Maybe, but not exactly right. Cost which is incurred, correct. But then what else? Okay. Let me assume in this example, I have to go from point A to point B. I have to go from point A to point B. I'm going in my car. Don't go on the drawing, go on the concept. I have to go in my car. On the way, what happens? There is a midpoint Z where my car got punctured. My car has got punctured at this point, but I still have to reach up to point B. At this point, what alternatives do I have? Option A, I can take auto, cab. Option B, I can use public transport, bus, metro. Option C, very nice. Somebody said walk. Option D, option D, very nice. Huh, okay. Repair the car and travel back. Option E, thank God nobody told bullock cart, horse cart. Huh, okay. Now, my beta, let me give you random values over there. Suppose to go by auto or cab, it was costing you 200 rupees from point Z to point B. By public transport, it was costing you 50 rupees. To walk, it was costing you 20 rupees because you wanted water at least when you're walking. To repair the car and go, it was costing you 300 rupees. Look, that is just a comedy over there. Tell me now, which option will you choose? When you are trying to choose an option, you are trying to see different alternatives. Will you think about the cost involved from point A to point Z? No, sir. Point A to point Z is called as a sunk cost. What do you mean by sunk? All these costs are going to be relevant for decision making. I need to decide how to go from point Z to point B. So those alternative options will be important for my decision making. But the cost from point A to point Z has already been incurred. Will that cost change my decision? No, sir. Whether I want to go by auto or whether I want to go by public transport or whether I want to repair my car, that I will think only from point Z to point B. A to Z is called as your sunk cost. Costs which have already been incurred, which do not impact your decision making, are called as sunk costs. Everybody able to follow? Write down. Sunk costs. I'll dictate. Please write down. Costs which have already been incurred. I'll write it. Costs which have already been incurred. Costs which have already been incurred in the past. In the past, and have no effect and have no effect on decision making and have no effect on decision making. Point number 5, explicit costs. Explicit costs. These are costs. These are costs which have an actual outflow. These are costs which have an actual outflow and are also called as out of pocket cost and are also called as out of pocket cost. I'll explain what is explicit cost. Write down point number 6 also, implicit cost. Implicit costs. These are costs. These are costs which do not have these are costs which do not have an actual outflow and are mostly notional, notional, imaginary in nature. Notional or imaginary in nature. Okay, let's take an example to understand this as well. I hope you're getting it. Whatever I'm writing on white paper is for explanation purpose. Whatever I'm writing in the rule paper is for your better understanding. Whatever I'm writing in white paper, if you feel it's important for your understanding, put it in your book. अर्थ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? समझ में आया? अर्थमाइंदा? I don't know which language you will reply to. Okay. What was I saying? Explicit cost, implicit cost. Okay. There are two persons, Mr. X and Mr. Y, who are producing a particular product. For both of them, raw material cost is 50 rupees. They're producing the same product. They're producing same product. Raw material cost is 50 rupees. Labor cost for X is 30. Y is able to get a laborer for 20 rupees. X has to pay rent, and if I convert the rent to per unit basis, it comes down to 20 rupees. Y has own premises and hence does not pay any rent. X has taken a property for rent. X does not have an own place, so he's taken a property for rent. In that rented premises, he's carrying on production, and if I convert the rent to per unit basis, it comes down to 20 rupees. Y does not pay any rent because Y is having his own premises. Now I want you to think and tell me what is the total cost for X? 50, 30, 20, 100. Assume nothing else is there. What is the total cost for Y? 70. To this, both of them are going to add profit. How to decide profit? How to decide profit? Profit is decided based on market factors, depending on demand, depending on supply, depending on other market factors, depending on competitor price, you decide your profit. Let me assume that they decide to keep a profit of 10%. What will be the profit of Mr. X? 10 rupees. What will be the profit of Mr. Y? 7 rupees. In this case, what do you get as the selling price? 110 and 77. Tell me, when we are thinking from accounting perspective, what I've written on the board, is it correct? Yes, sir. But when I'm thinking from costing perspective, is it correct? No. Why no? Why used his own premises doesn't mean that there is no rental expense. Agree, yes or no? When I'm selling the product, I could sell the product for 110 rupees. I know I saved 10 rupees of labor charge. So I could have at least sold it for 100 rupees. Agree, yes or no? Yes, sir. But then because you did not write rent over there, or because you did not consider rent over there, therefore your price went wrong, which will be wrong when you're deciding the selling price for the product. This rent is called as implicit cost. Please read what is implicit cost. These are costs which do not have any actual outflow. I did not make a payment to anybody. I have not made a payment. There is no actual outflow. They are only notional or imaginary in nature. Now over here, even if I add an imaginary rent of how much? 30 rupees. What will be my total cost? The total cost will be 90 because I saved 10 rupees in labor. Acha, acha, okay. I kept rent as 20, is it? Okay. If I keep a rent of 20, my total will be 90, and then the profit will be 9, and then product will be sold for 99. Now, in this case, what is happening? In this case, whose product will the customer buy? Y's product. But Y gave a product for cheaper price. Why? Not because of own premises, but because he served 10 rupees on labor. That 20 rupees of rent, what I'm saying, this is called as your notional cost or imaginary cost. Notional costs are never recorded in accounts. In financial reporting, we never record anything on imaginary basis. But in costing, we have to consider it on imaginary basis. These are called as implicit costs. Everybody able to follow? Explicit costs, out of pocket cost, which involve actual cash outflow. Implicit costs, which are imaginary in nature. Can we go to the next one? Point number 7. Differential cost. Differential costs. Differential costs refers to change in cost, depending on change in output. Change in cost depending on change in output. Change in cost depending on change in output. Example I gave you in the coaching business. When I had 10 students, what was my electricity cost? Electricity was 35,000. Yes, sir. And when I had 100 students, it was 80,000. So what is the difference? 45,000 is called as differential cost. It can also be called as incremental cost. Whenever there is a change in output, how much the cost is changing, that is called as differential cost. Everyone able to follow? Yes, sir. Let's come down to the next point. Point number 8. Conversion cost. Try to think and tell me, what do you mean by conversion costs? Try to think and tell me, what do you mean by conversion cost? It's not foreign currency conversion. Think from costing perspective again. Why do you say so? Okay, madam. That is selling price, not sales cost. Yeah. Okay. So what they're trying to say is, what is conversion cost? Converting raw material to finished goods. All the costs involved in converting raw material to finished good is called as conversion cost. Example, in manufacturing sugar, what is raw material? Sugar cane is your raw material. For making sugar from sugar cane, there's going to be a process. All those process costs will be called as conversion cost. Now you think and tell me, conversion cost is equal to dash. We had different elements of cost: direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, production overheads, administration overheads, selling and distribution overheads. If I say cost of conversion, which costs will it involve? Okay. Majority of you are trying to say, think and tell me, huh? I'll give you 10 seconds. Cost of conversion will involve which elements? You understood what is direct material, direct labor, direct expense. Indirect elements, you understood what is production overhead, admin overhead, selling distribution overhead. What is cost of conversion? Cost of conversion are those costs which are incurred to convert raw material to finished goods. Think and tell me, selling distribution expense, is it cost of conversion? No, sir. Administration overhead, is it cost of conversion? No, sir. Production overhead? Yes. So can I say production overhead are those which are indirect expenses which are incurred at the factory? Is it necessary for converting raw material to finished goods? Yes. So all those production overheads are related to manufacturing, related to production. That's why they are called as factory overhead, also called as production overhead, also called as manufacturing overhead. Is this all related to conversion of raw material to finished goods? Yes. So can I say total of this will be cost of conversion? Yes or no, sir? Yes. Wrong answer. Why wrong answer? The administration overhead is not related to converting raw material to finished goods. Administration overhead will come after the point of finished goods. Production overheads are included. Production overheads are necessary to make raw material to finished goods. Example, production manager's salary. Okay, let me give you an offer over here. How many of you are ready to take the offer? I am not telling you the offer. First, you say how many of you are ready to take the offer. I would suggest you take the offer. Are you taking? How many of you taking? Then after I tell the offer, don't say even I want, Anta. Tell me how many of you taking offer. Agnivesh not taking? Agnivesh knows the offer, I think. That's why. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm giving you an offer. I would suggest to take. How many of you taking? How many of you not taking? Don't tell later I want that. Okay. Offer. I'm going to give a price. I'm going to give a price if you fulfill few conditions. Make a offer. Nandu bedva. You'll think about it. If you have to accept, you have to accept the offer now itself before I can give you terms and conditions. Okay, so I'm giving you a price if you fulfill a few conditions. What is those conditions? What are those conditions? I should say. Okay. Condition number 1. Pass PM exam with above kitna 90. Oh, this fellow remembered offer now. So how much score shall I keep? 90, 95, 50. Yeah, 50 is passing mark, madam. Pass PM exam, obviously you have to score 50. So, chalo, let me say 80 plus. I thought you'll say 90. No, sir, you keep 90. No problem, sir. Nobody bothered in this class to score 90. Okay. We'll keep a target of 80 plus. Second condition. What is it? Second condition is more important than first one. What is second one? Eat chocolate every day, therefore that I'll not give you price. You eat, you don't eat, up to you. You will get diabetes later. Tell me, what is second condition? Second condition is to inform your results. Goober fellows will pass. They'll never bother to inform also. Academy will inform me that that person has passed, that person scored, 80, 90, whatever. Goober fellows never bother to tell. So condition number 1, score 80 plus in PM. Condition number 2, call and tell at least that you have passed, you scored this much, at least bring one chocolate. Correct? I'm giving chocolate every day. Give one chocolate the day you pass. If you fulfill these two conditions, I'll give you prize. What prize I'll give? What prize I'll give? No, that is Abhishek, sir. What prize I give? No, man, I gave specific price. You said you will host lunch at the time. That is Abhishek, sir. Huh. I don't. Oh, okay. So my price is I give you earphones. Why I give earphones? Generally, I feel you people are going to do professional courses. You might have to see a lot on YouTube, so that will be useful for you. So now, whoever fulfills these conditions will get the prize. Artha aita? Artha aita? Artha aita? Yes, sir. Let's take a situation where you all have become, or where you all have cleared PM exam. No smile on face. Little smile should come at least. You all have cleared PM exam. On that day, I buy earphones for this batch. How many should I buy? all of us, at least thankfully four, at least three, four people raised. Others are like, you don't know, sir, will pass or no. I don't know, sir. No, sir. At least first day you don't ask, sir. After some days you ask, we'll see. Okay. Now suppose I buy the earphones for rupees 1000. I go to a particular stationery shop and I ask him to gift wrap the price. Ask him to gift wrap the price. What would be the charge of that gift wrap? The price charge is rupees 1000. Gift wrapping charges, let me assume, is 50. My question to you is, what is total cost? Total cost for Dhanush sir will be 1050. What is gift wrapping charges? What is gift wrapping charges? What is gift wrapping charges? Gift wrapping charges is 50 or 1050? Look board and tell me, no, what is the gift wrapping charges? The gift wrapping charges is only 50. So I'm asking you back over here, what is cost of conversion? Cost of conversion means the cost incurred to convert raw material into finished goods. When I'm converting raw material to finished goods, should I take raw material cost? No, sir, raw material cost will not be taken. Like when I'm giving you the gift, I'm asking you what is gift wrapping charges. Gift wrapping charges does not include the cost of the price by separately. It includes only the wrapping charges. Cost of conversion does not include the cost of the raw material. It includes all the costs after purchase of raw material to convert it to finished product. Artha. So direct material will not be involved. You have your labor, you have your other direct expenses, and you have your production overheads, which gives you cost of conversion. Everybody able to follow? Yes, sir. Other expenses, what were the different categories that we saw? You can look and tell me. I got to know what your memory is. Product cost, costs associated with a product. Period cost, associated with a particular time period. Opportunity cost, the benefit foregone for a particular alternative. Sunk cost, cost which is incurred, not necessary for decision making. Explicit cost, implicit cost. Now for each one I gave you examples. Product cost, royalty, wages, raw material. Period cost, rent, salary. Sunk cost, traveling from point A to Z, Z to B. Opportunity cost, investment in shares, investment in gold. Yes or no? Then we saw explicit cost, implicit cost. X does not have a property, he takes it on rent. Y has the own property, notional rent. Artha aito? Then what did we see? Differential cost. Cost for 10 students, cost for 100 students. Change in cost by change in output is called as differential cost. Then what did you see? Cost of conversion. Cost of converting raw material into finished goods. Whatever I gave on the board was an example or was it actual? This was example for conversion cost. Artha. However, the offer still stands. Anybody who passes, let me know of your result. Let me know 80 plus, you will get earphones. Not earpods, earphones. I use both brand earphones, I'll give you the same thing. Artha. Artha. Okay. So you can write down there conversion cost. Costs of converting. Costs of converting raw material into finished goods. Cost of converting raw material into finished goods. In bracket, direct material plus direct labor plus direct expense plus production overheads. Yes or no, sir? Yes or no, sir? Write that and put direct material as a cross because many students make a mistake over there. Direct material will not be involved under cost of conversion. Can I go to the next paragraph? Relax for 30 seconds. Then we discuss three more words. And then we close for the day. 3 or 4 words we'll discuss. I've given you three words on the screen. Can anyone tell me the meaning of any of these words? Cost object, cost unit, cost driver. Cost units are? Okay, correct. Correct. Right now, cost object. It is anything. It is anything. It is anything which requires. It is anything which requires a separate measurement of cost. It is anything which requires a separate measurement of cost. Example, a phone, TV, financing department, an advertisement, a marketing activity, a batch of product A, etc. Anything which requires a separate measurement of cost is called as a cost object. Now, a cost object can be an individual phone or it could be a batch of phones also. Agree, yes or no? When will we prefer unit costing separate or batch costing separate? Depends on the category of products. Example, FMCG goods like what? Your biscuits, your chocolates are manufactured per unit or batches? Batches. There you will calculate cost of one batch. Or example, cosmetics. If you buy a lipstick, if you buy a kajal, if you buy a sunscreen for boys, today boys use more cosmetics than girls, correct? Yes, you see Instagram, it's filled with boys using cosmetics only. So if you buy a cosmetic product, it will be written over there, batch number XYZ. So cosmetics are also made in batches. There you don't calculate the cost of one lipstick, you calculate the cost of one batch of lipsticks. Similarly, medicines, FMCG goods are all calculated in batches. But if you're trying to calculate the cost of one TV, you're trying to calculate the cost of one car, then you're going to take it as one unit. In SS Academy, we have different departments. Different departments like what? Different courses we provide. CA, CS, ACCA. In ACCA also, we provide different levels, different subjects. Agree, yes or no? In that we have online class, offline class, recorded class. You're trying to calculate for each service what would be the cost. Each item which requires a separate calculation of cost is called as a cost object. It could be one product, it could be one service, it could be one batch, it could be one department. Like in your organization, you could have finance department, HR department, marketing department. For each item, you're trying to calculate separate cost. That item is called as a cost object. Everyone able to follow? What is a cost unit? What is a cost unit? It is a unit. It is a unit of a product or service. It is a unit of a product or service in relation to which in relation to which costs can be expressed. In relation to which costs can be expressed. Example, phone. A phone costs how much? A Samsung phone costs 30,000 rupees. 30,000 rupees what? 30,000 rupees for each phone. So can I say for phone it can be in numbers? If I say wheat, what will you say? What is the cost of wheat? 50 rupees. 50 rupees what? Per kg. Units of measurement basically. The unit in terms of which I will express my cost. Or if I say a hospital How do you calculate? Or if I say a hotel room, how many of you have gone for a, picnic? Gone for a picnic with your parents? Yes, sir. You go and stay in a hotel? Yes, sir. What do you go and ask there? You ask the tariff. Tariff in terms of what? Tariff in terms of per room per day. That becomes your cost unit. Per room per day. Hospital is again per bed per patient. In a hospital, you might have a double sharing room, triple sharing room. It depends on each bed that you take. Cost unit is nothing but the unit in terms of which the cost is going to be expressed. What is cost driver? Cost driver, important. What is cost driver? It is a factor, correct. It is a factor or a variable. It is a factor or a variable which affects. It is a factor or a variable which affects the level of cost. It is a factor or variable which affects the level of cost. Example, in marketing, what would affect the level of cost? Can I say number of salesmen? In customer service, can I say number of calls or number of minutes that the person has spoken? Cost driver is any factor which changes the level of cost. More number of calls, more cost. More number of minutes I have to speak, more cost. More number of salesmen, more cost. Something which changes the level of cost is called as a cost driver. आता है तो? Yes, sir. It should be quantified. Yes. Everyone able to follow what we have discussed? So very basic things we did today. We touched upon classification of cost on the basis of element, on the basis of behavior or variability, on the basis of function, on the basis of normality. Then we saw certain other costs, and then I explained to you cost object, cost unit, cost driver. Able to follow? Shall we stop here? Any doubts before we close? Okay, so I'll see you all in the next class. Till then, take care. Thank you. Had a wonderful first session with you guys. Looking forward for another 40 or 30 to 40 great days. Okay, thank you.